Hi everybody, it's Lavinia. Welcome to my channel and to part 2 of the applique mug rug that I'm making. So in this video we are going to be finishing it. So I'm going to be stitching down the applique. Even though it's pretty much glued down and adhered, it just gives it a little bit of a design, plus secures it down a little bit more. This is the mug rug that I had showed before. And you can see the stitching here as well as here. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I have some yellow thread also here in my bobbin. And let me see my stitch. Let me just show you where my stitch is at. So as far as for my stitch, I have it just a little bit less than 2. So again, here is my thread. And I'm just going to be using a straight stitch, so this doesn't really matter here. And these are my little cat and dog little die cuts from This and That with Debbie Jean. Hi Debbie Jean, if you're watching. And I'm using my Brother Strong and Tough, and I'm going to be using the straight stitch. On my machine, I could probably use one of these stitches here if I wanted to use one of those other decorative stitches, but because the design is so tiny and a lot of curves, I'm just going to go ahead and use the straight stitch. And so let's get to it. So one thing I just want to make sure of is that I wonder if I can make this closer. Let's see. Is that I just want to make sure that I am hitting just as close to the edge of the applique. So I'm doing that, and I am going to just go ahead and go slowly, but you can pretty much start anywhere. I'm just starting on this side, and I think what I will do is I will do the mug, come around, and then come back and do the tea part or the coffee part, and then the steam, just making sure that I catch everything. And you could also use a zigzag stitch if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use the straight stitch. So let's see. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and go slowly here, just making sure that I catch that. So I could probably go around the steam first, and as I come close to where I can always look up here and take a look. So I'm coming towards a curve, so I'm just going to tilt it a little bit. And the main thing here is to go slowly, just so that you catch all the edges. And if that means that you do it manually, go ahead and do that as well. Always keep your needle down whenever you're lifting, whether you have to look or you have to turn. That would be really the key in doing these, stitching down the applique. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this, and then I'll show you the end result. I would love to show you everything, but I have the camera in the way, so I just want to make sure that I get this down. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be back. Just one other thing I wanted to point out, now that I've come a little bit further away from where I started, I have my needle down and I lifted the foot, and I am just going to pull the thread. I'm trying to hold the camera here, but I'm going to pull this thread up. This way it doesn't get caught in any of the stitches as I'm stitching. It doesn't cause any nesting or knots at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I did. And I'll just tie a little knot afterwards and fix that. But just wanted to give you that heads up as well. So I just wanted to show you. So I did here this first little steam edge, and then I'm going around the edge of the teacup, and I am now here going to go just straight across here. That's about okay. So the teacup is going to start to curve a little bit, so I'm just moving it slightly. Again, just trying to stay as close to the edge as possible, but you want to be on the applique portion of the fabric. And again, if you have to just turn it manually, go ahead and do that. There's a lot of, probably, especially when you have a lot of curves and twists like this, a lot of manual stitching sort of with the machine, and a lot of picking up the foot, bringing it down, and continuing on like that. So here's probably another little bit of a straighter edge. And again, go slow. Again, here it looks like it's going to start to curve. So that's pretty much how I'm doing this. Oops. And sorry, my phone here got in the way. And I'm just going to come around here and then probably just do the steam. And when I hit this area again, I will go around the T, then I'll cut that, and I will come here and do this stitching here, and then I'll be done. So I will just pause the video here for a moment just so I can go ahead and continue that, and then show you the final touches, I guess, on this mug. Okay, so I finished sewing it, and you can use color coordinated thread if you wanted to. For example, you could use brown or gray or whatever color your applique is. I just wanted to use the yellow just because of the background. And what I'm going, and this is, by the way, what the back looks like. So what I'm going to do now is pull actually the threads to the back and make the little knots. This way there's nothing here, no knots or anything like up here. And then I'll trim that off. So again, it's just a matter of pulling the thread to the back. Oops, like that. Do a little bit further away. And then just making my knots back here so that there aren't any threads here in the front. So let's see, we have that one, and then this one. You could probably use a pin too, might be easier, but let's see, is there one other one? So just these two here. And once I do that, I'll do the little knots, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew it to the back. I decided I'm not going to use binding. I'm just going to use it like I did my pillowcases that way, just to make it easier and simpler. So I will be back once I'm done with this. So I just wanted to show you that I knotted those strings, that thread here. Here in the front, the ones that I had pulled up, I just made a little knot here, and I'm going to trim this off as close as possible. You don't have to, I guess, pull it up, but if it gets stuck, it makes like a big mess in the back. So, all right, so there we have this, and now on to attaching it to the back. So I've trimmed the batting, the back, and the front to match, and what I'm going to do is I have the batting here at the bottom, then I have the back, and then I'm going to place the top here, going to line them up, and I am going to sew, oops, so I'm going to line them up. I'll probably clip them and then just leave maybe a couple of inches or 3 inches, just enough for me to go ahead once I've done sewing to be able to flip it around. So I will show you that once I get to there. So I've clipped around my mug rug, and I'm going to do a back stitch. Also, just to let you know that I have moved my stitch to a 3, so it's no longer less than the 2. I moved it to a 3, but again, it is just a straight stitch. And let me see if I can at least start this out here so that you can see. And I have my needle more towards the right as possible because when I flip it over, I do want to do another stitch and it'll enclose this here. So, let's see. Going to do a back stitch because again, I am going to flip that over, so I do want that seam there or that area there to be reinforced. As I get here towards the corner, I'm just going to give it a little angle there and then come back. And now I'm just going to just do the straight stitch until I come to this clip here, where this is where I'm going to leave my opening so that I can turn my mug rug inside out. So I'll be back once I get to that point. So I'm getting close to this clip area here. And again, I just want to make sure, here's my back stitch, that I'll have enough. So I'm just going to back stitch here, enough room to, put my hand in or my several fingers in and turn this over. So I am done with that. And now I will take this out here. Turned off my machine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip these corners just a little bit, making sure that I don't clip any of the stitching. It just makes those corners a little bit easier, not as stuffed, so to speak. So again, I'm just going to clip these corners here just a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and turn this over. Let me get rid of these stitches here, these threads. So I'm picking from where the two fabrics are and just flipping that over. So clipping the corners, that just gives it a little bit less bulk in those areas. So where the corners are, I'm just going to go ahead and just poke a little bit here. You could use a chopstick. If you use your scissors, just be careful that you don't poke through the fabric. I'm also making sure that there aren't any holes or that I didn't miss any, any holes here in the edges here. So it all looks good. That and like that, very cute. So I'm going to go ahead and press this down. I'm going to press here where the opening is in just a little bit, just to give that a little bit easier for when I do the top stitch. And we are going to be done. I also like the backing of this, so whether you want to use it this way or this way, you can go ahead and put your mug here. As I said, put like a little cookie or something like that if you wanted to have that, have your Tea Tuesday. So again, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and press this down. So I've pressed it down. I also got rid of just a little bit of the batting from here, just so that it wouldn't be as bulky. But I pressed it down here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do a top stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so here I am, and I've clipped where the opening is just to keep that a little bit matched up. I am going to do a back stitch. Get here. Just a little bit of a back stitch, and then when I get here, just going to keep it as close as possible as I can. You could probably use pins as well. Here as I get to the corner, just twist that a little bit. so when I finish, I will come back and show you what it looks like. I'm arriving here at my starting point. So I'm just going to go there and back stitch, and I'll be done. Okay, so the only other thing I'm going to do is I could hand stitch this down here where the opening is, but I am going to move my needle all the way again to the right and just close that down. Okay, and so there it is. That's what the back looks like. I love it from both sides, whether it's this way or this way. So let me know what you think. Wait, Stormy Weather has something to say. Stormy Weather, what do you think? Yeah? You think that we already have 2 mug rugs and that we can make more, that maybe we should give this as a surprise gift to someone? What do you think? Okay, so let's see. If you would like to win this mug rug, it will be open internationally to, you just have to put in the comment, Stormy Weather. What do you think, Stormy Weather? Yep, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. If you would like to receive this mug rug, it'll be open internationally. You have to be at least 18 years of age and a public subscriber to my channel. If you don't know whether you are or not, I do have a video on how to make yourself public. So even if it's just for this tutorial or for this mug rug. And so today is Saturday. It's about 10 to 5, let's just say 5 o'clock Arizona time. So I'll close this maybe tomorrow by midnight, and we'll do it that way. So if you would like to receive this mug rug, that'll be, I think it'll be fun, especially if you do the Tea Tuesday, or again, just have it, with your coffee. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and comment in the section below. And again, if you would like to get a chance to win this mug rug, just put that comment in the comment section below, Stormy Weather, and I will see you soon. Bye.